Hey birds, my name is GlibWings, and today I want to talk to you about dropping the subject. So, on today's Life of a Let's Player, I learned something very valuable. I learned something valuable tonight, actually. And it's this, is that, I was in conversation with someone, and I realized it was getting really heated, because I realized we both wanted to be right on something. And usually I would just kind of keep that going until, at some point, it gets really ugly. But for the first time I realized something really important, and it's to value the connection over your need to be right. And I don't know, it was just kind of weird this time because something inside me went, no, don't keep that going. Burn out that fire before it burns you is what I realized. And I don't know, it's just kind of a very powerful lesson I learned, is that sometimes our need to reply, our need to speak out, our need to be right, a lot of that can be very problematic if it costs you the connection. And I realized something very important is that I didn't want to lose this connection. I found it to be very important to me. And I realized that sometimes you have to drop your need to be right, or to quickly reply back and get your word in, I realized very quickly that sometimes it's honestly just better to value the actual connection as a whole than it is to try to be right about something, because you get short-term satisfaction of being right, but the long-term is that it leads to more problems, it leads to more isolation over time. And I don't know, I'm just grateful I dropped the subject, because I realized very quickly that if I was to keep going with that subject, it probably would have cost me the connection. So I'm very grateful that I saw an opportunity to bring everything down from here all the way down to here. Because the truth is that we're not going to agree with everybody, but we can find our middle grounds. We can debate back and forth about things, no matter what it is. But at the end of the day, I think what really matters is the connection as a whole. And if you lose the connection, you really don't have anything. You have an absence of a person that you once were part of, that you really enjoyed. You really enjoyed having them around. All that stuff incorporated, right? And I don't know, I just find it's really important that we prioritize our connections, because if we prioritize our connections first and forget about our needs to always bicker and argue over such trivial things, we'd probably be a lot better off that way. And I know we all get caught up in things that don't matter in the long run. It's so easy to get caught up over trivial things, but I think what's important is our connections and the way that we prioritize them. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say, birds. I hope you birds enjoyed this episode of Life of a Let's Player. I don't usually make these very often, just when I feel inspired to make one. So I hope you birds have enjoyed this, and as always, birds, if you like the video, hit it like a window, play hard, take flight, GlibWings out.